guys, and welcome to the newest episode of Be Hero Presents Slightly Agitated, a show where a bunch of idiots get on and pretty much just to attempt to annoy the hell out of each other while talking about a certain topic. This week's topic is adult animation, and I'm not talking hentai or some crazy cartoon porn. I'm talking some of the best and worst shows made and aimed towards adults, primetime animation style shows. But before we jump into that, let me introduce everybody. I am your host and idiot numero uno, Brian, host of many shows here on Be Hero Presents. And with me tonight is idiot number 2, Josh Martinez. How you doing tonight, Josh?
Orale, I am tired and slightly agitated. So let's fucking do this shit.
All right. Well, happily you're already in the name of the show, so they don't have to go too far to annoy you. Just a couple of feet off the ground to annoy you. So,
fuck off.
Idiot number 3, Andrew. So, how you doing, Andrew?
I'm super annoyed at everything because technology.
Yes, it is the bane of Andrew's existence.
Yes, it is.
And idiot number 4, who may or may not be joining us, she is not feeling the greatest, but you might hear her in the peanut gallery around, is Zan. Zan, if you can hear us, I hope you're having a great night, or trying to feel better at least. So
she is doing her best.
All right, guys. So tonight we are going to talk about some of the best and worst in adult animation. Shows like, South Park, Family Guy, The Simpsons, but also things like, BoJack Horseman, Velma. Shows in that kind of vein, things that are not really aimed to kids, but are more an adult end, but kind of have a kid's feel. Rick and Morty, Metalocalypse. Try again.
Metalocalypse.
That's the one. What was that one? With the French fry and the burger and the guy that looks like
Hunger Force.
Yes.
Force.
Yeah, I was gonna say the guy that looks like the porn star whose name just escaped me.
Ron Jeremy.
That's one. So
his name is Carl, and he is the fucking greatest thing on that show next to Meatwad.
Of course you would like Meatwad. He's like your spirit
I fucking
animal.
live for Meatwad. Bro, when that show was at its peak, okay, Hot Topic was cool. And at least to me and my fellow elder emos. And like sweatbands were a big thing. And I had all of Aqua Teen Hunger Forces. So it had Frylock, it had Master Shake, it had Meatwad, and then it had the Moonanites. And my Meatwad one, I wore that shit until it fucking broke. Because I fucking love Meatwad.
Okay, couple things to talk about there. One, Hot Topic, never cool. Nor should a wrestler ever get their gear from there, but it happened all the time. Second, I do enjoy Meatwad. I've seen a lot of super clips of him, so I can understand the love for Meatwad because he was great. But with that being said, let's see here. Headbands were never cool, never trendy, never a thing. Not even in the 80s when they were at its most popular peak. They were still not cool.
Not like headbands, sweatbands, but the armbands.
Oh, you rocking the Cena.
Yes. I still have my Cena ones too. My Chain Gang ones. Fuck yes.
So, again, I would also say that they were never cool. That being said, there was a year where I wrestled with an armband, and then Cena started doing it, and I stopped.
Oh, God. To be fair, Cena wrestles with fucking children's-sized headbands over his goddamn bicep because he's Cena, and I fucking hate that. And I'm jealous.
Yeah, roids are a thing. But before we jump all the way down the rabbit hole that is adult animation, we need to ask the immortal question, the question we ask every week. What are we drinking? Josh, what are you drinking?
Ginger ale.
You fucking assholes.
Doesn't stop me. Coke and whiskey, as always.
I will not be drinking tonight other than ginger ale and water because I am next up on the callback list again because fuck my life.
I agree. Fuck your life.
Thank you.
Normally we record this, though, on the Friday night, so it drops the next day. But since we are doing a show at Aces High tomorrow, which is yesterday as this drops, we have to record it a day early. So, these plebes here are not able to drink like
you really
I
just hit the plebes line.
I'm going to start using that in my promos. So,
of course you are.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead now and start talking about some of our favorite adult animation shows. So, Josh, why don't you hit us with your first one?
Top favorite adult animation show currently is Rick and Morty. I'm a fucking mark. I fucking love it. The story's there, the jokes. Zan is right there with me. The jokes hit every time. It's so fucking smart. It is such, and it stays fresh, and I fucking here for Rick and Morty. So, wubba lubba dub dub, bitches! Pickle Rick!
Hey, I remember that being popular like 15 years ago, so good job being fun.
When a show is so influential that it can bring back a sauce that was made for one run, it just is. It's fucking. It's gold. It's fucking gold.
So, I was really into the show for the first couple of seasons, but I think it was. I can't remember if it was the fourth or fifth season, but it was the season where they had the dragon.
The fucking dragon episode.
Yeah, the dragon bonding, and then also was this season. They also, I think it was the episode before that, which was the poop planet, where they had the toilet on the one planet. Like, that was the last couple of episodes I watched, and honestly, it's not that it's a bad show. I just got burnt out of it because it's the same jokes, ostensibly the same thing all the time.
The fuck it is.
Yeah.
It gets so much better.
That's what I hear, but I just haven't got around to watching it. It's like
you have to, because like the episodes that are like the filler episodes, they're decent, whatever. That falls to the vein that you're talking about. But the canon episodes, the hunt for fucking Evil Morty, the hunt for Rick Prime, it's so good, and it does take a darker, sadder tone to the entire show for those episodes, and even after it changes the dynamic between Rick and Morty enough that it's art. It's fucking art. Yes, baby.
And why Rick is the way he is.
And if you couldn't hear that, it's why Rick is the way he is.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not going to throw a show completely under the bus because I haven't watched all of the show per se, unlike some people I know. But for me, it was the same thing. It's kind of like how it was for me with watching Big Bang Theory. I got really into watching Big Bang Theory, and like 5 seasons in, I was just feeling it was like the same repetitive stuff. And they did make changes. They've got like more story for everybody and character arcs, but I just could not get into watching. I still haven't watched every episode, like the remaining seasons. I watched the last episode, but that's it. And this is how Rick and Morty is for me right now. I'll probably come back to it because I did enjoy it when I was watching it, but I'm totally burnt out on the show.
I think you need to give it another chance. I think you need to watch Past the Dragon episode, which is fucking hilarious, and
I enjoyed
get
it.
into like season 5, 6, 7. Those last 3 seasons fucking hit. They hit so hard.
All right. Well, so what do you think? What's your takes on Rick and Morty?
Like I said, I didn't know that show was still airing. I thought it ended and peaked at Pickle Rick, and then the fan base is annoying. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought it stopped airing because the creator got hashtagged.
It was the voice of Rick and Morty that got hashtagged Jason Roiland.
Justin
Roiland. But Dan Harmon, who's the creator, still is doing it.
Which I like Dan Harmon, but like I didn't know the show was still on. I thought it ended a while ago.
Nope. That writer's strike kind of fucked with the seasons. It'll be the first year since it debuted where there will not be... 2024 will be the first year where there's not a new season of Rick and Morty.
Not
since
true.
Its debut.
Not true.
I think that's true.
No. So they did the first 3 seasons, and between season 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, there was almost a year difference between each season because of how long it was taking for animation and everything else. It wasn't until they did the deal to have the 70-plus episodes, like the guaranteed 70-plus episodes, and I think that was going into season 4, that would have been true. So season 4, 5, and 6, or 7, whatever it's on now, would have gone quickly, but the first few seasons had like a year difference, and even going into that 4th season, it was like a long ass time. It was almost like an anime style length of time.
Jesus, animes are fucking ridiculous when it comes to release dates. I'm still waiting on my 2nd season of Dead Man Wonderland, which I may never get.
You're never going
to. Thank you for crushing my hopes and dreams.
Oh, no, the worst was Sherlock on the BBC.
That was the one with Bendy Dick Thunderpatch, right?
Correct. Season 1 to 2 was like a year, 2 to 3 was like another year, and then like 3 to 4, which was the last season, was almost like 4 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was.
Didn't they do that with Dexter too?
They did directly do it with Dexter. It was more about that they had the last season of Dexter, and then Dexter left Showtime for a while. Like it was just done. They ended up canceling it, but then they ended up bringing it back for like one more season where he was in Alaska.
Oh shit!
Yeah. But going back to adult animation, so what is one of your favorite adult animation shows? If you got any.
I mean, South Park is still classic and always hits hard. It's still relevant to this day. People still know it exists. They look for it for social commentary to try and make sense of this stupid fucking world that we live in. Or to find humor in this stupid fucking world that we live in. So, South Park.
Yeah, South Park's just like Rick and Morty for me. Like, for a while there, I was really into South Park, and then everything just started getting super repetitive on the shows. There's episodes here or there I really enjoyed. Like, one of my favorite episodes of South Park of all time was a World of Warcraft episode.
Oh, it's such a good episode.
It's so good. And then the episode where Mr. Slave fights against Paris Hilton. I really enjoyed that episode. But there wasn't like I go back every once in a while and will try to watch it, and I just can't. Like, I tried to watch the pandemic special, and I didn't end up finishing it. And it's not that it wasn't good. I got bored. If that makes sense. Like, I was just like, all right, I'm done. I'm done trying. And they have a new one that's either just dropped or is about to drop for a special called The End of Obesity, where
that just
Cartman,
dropped.
yeah, I think if I'm right, Cartman's trying to, he's going to lose weight like by taking injections or something like that. But yeah, I have no clue and honestly no desire to watch it. Like, I might get around to catching up on some other episodes, but honestly, I gave up on South Park a long time ago.
God, you're so bitter. I gotta give
Are you
it
talking to me or Sowell? That's usually what we tell Sowell.
I'm talking to you, man.
It feels wrong.
Like, you gotta give it to the creator, fucking Trey Parker and Matt Stone, because the fact that they do those episodes the week before they fucking air, holy shit. It's fucking impressive.
Oh yeah, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna put anything past them. Not only have they done amazing, but they've done amazing on a show that's always been controversial, but was always able to walk that fine line. They have been relative and funny enough for the most people enjoy the show, and it's still going. That show's got to be probably 20 years going now. So, like,
More than that.
I'm not ever gonna put anything past them. So,
More than that, it's almost 30 years old. It'll be 30 years old in like 90 in 2026.
let me take a look here. South Park.
Like if you go from like the fucking the very first like time they met Parker and Trey Stone made like South Park, like the Spirit of Christmas one. I think it was like 94, 95, maybe even 96. I think.
2 animation shorts. The Spirit of Christmas was ran in 1992 and 1995.
All right, there you go.
But the official airing on Comedy Central was in 97. So,
God damn.
yeah. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of stuff like I really enjoy from Parker and Stone. Like, I love basketball. Cannibal the Musical is hilarious. Orgasmo, like, they're all funny and stuff. But they're in that weird vein. And this is going to sound really weird when I'm saying this, but they're in a vein of not smart Kevin Smith style of movie.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, I'm fucking confused on that.
It's a stoner movie without substance. Where
Without
Kevin Smith
substance, clearly you haven't fucking watched South Park in a while.
Well, I'm talking about the movies, like Cannibal the Musical, Basketball, Orgasmo. Like, there's a lot funny in it, but there's no real substance. Like, I can't even think of a proper character arc. Like, Basketball is the only one that even has a decent character arc in it. And even that, like, I feel like the main characters will just fell back in the same spot after the movie was over. So, yeah, that's my take on the movies. But South Park, it's better. Like, there's not a whole ton of character development in the characters either in South Park. I mean, Cartman's been the same asshole he's been for 20 plus years.
Yeah. Why change perfection?
Well, character arc, man. Like,
it's a fucking cartoon. There's no character arc.
A prime example of a proper character arc for a character, Marge Simpson.
What the fuck happened?
What do you mean? What happened?
You went your camera froze and then you went super fucking silent.
Did you have this problem, Zobo?
No.
I think it's a you problem, Josh. So, Marge Simpson has a great character arc through the series of The Simpsons, right? She is very much the silently nagging mom character to literally standing up for herself on the regular and, like, threatening to divorce Homer on multiple occasions. Ned is another great character who is got a great character arc. He was perfect churchy, didn't speak up, didn't say anything terrible, always super nice, and has now had grown a backbone in the series and stuff like that. But they're still in the core of who the character is, but with character growth. You don't get that in South Park because it's a lesser show.
How dare you, sir? Randy Marsh used to be a geologist. Now he's a fucking stoner. Cartman's mom was also Cartman's dad at the same time. So, checkmate, bitch.
That's not character growth, that's plot.
Same thing.
Kenny doesn't die every episode.
That is true. Kenny doesn't die in every episode anymore. In fact, I think he stopped doing that after the movie.
Yeah, I think there was a couple episodes where he still died afterwards.
But they did the superhero thing, where he was like kept resurrecting because he would die and things like that. But outside of that, I don't remember a whole lot of too many more episodes after that he dies. At least not as a gag.
Yeah.
So, again, the show has a lot of funny in it. Like, there's another great episode just popped in my head was an early episode. In fact, I think it was the first episode where Kenny doesn't die at the end, but they go to the Amazon or something for some reason, and
was it the guinea pig fucking episode?
I don't remember like the whole details. It's been so long, but the specific scene that's coming to my mind is the four of them are walking, and they also have Wendy Tessaburger with them. And
that was a class field trip.
Was it a field trip? Yeah. And Kenny gets hit by something, or something happens to him, and he dies, or he's dying. And they do the line of, "Oh my God, you killed Kenny, you bastards!" And Wendy's like, "What? Who killed him? They killed him. Who are they? They, and they're bastards." And then Wendy goes off and saves Kenny, like gives him mouth to mouth and revives him and stuff like that. That was a great story beat for the show, but they don't have a ton of those. They have things to talk about, like water cooler moments in the shows, which, if you guys didn't hear me explain water cooler moments, that was on the last episode of Bump Card. But water cooler moments are moments that you bring up at the water cooler and then never talk about again. And like South Park has great water cooler moments. Like I mentioned earlier about the Mr. Slave versus Paris Hilton, right? Or what was the name of the gopher inside of Mr. Slave that they end up having that whole episode for in the sing along to?
Is it Lemmy Winks or something?
Yeah, Lemmy Winks.
It is Lemmy Winks.
Yeah, so they have that whole episode and stuff like that, but they're small beats. They're small water cooler moments, but they don't help with the show. They don't expand anything, right? Lemmy Winks didn't do anything. Mr. Slave doesn't really do much of anything to help the show grow.
Mr. Garrison was once a teacher that was gay. Then he was trans. And then he was President Trump. There you go. Character arc. Suck it, bitch.
He became President Trump?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Didn't Randy's or Stan's dad become fucking Lord for a minute too?
It was Randy Marsh.
Yes. That's Stan's dad, yeah.
God.
Yes, that happened.
All right. Well, to each their own. It is not my flavor of Kool-Aid, but you know.
That's all right. Your flavor of Kool-Aid's trash anyway. Continue on with whatever the fuck you were going to say next.
Trying to think of one of my favorite animated adult shows. Like I to be honest, I love The Simpsons. I always have. I've watched them since they aired on the Tracy Ullman Show in '89, and I've watched them most every season since. My wife goes to sleep watching them, and I often rewatch multiple episodes before I crash out and switch to something, or have to switch to something else to crash out. Because if I don't, then I will stay up all night watching this great show. It's a show that is, I can't even say timeless, but it grows with the age. There is obviously better seasons than others. There are better episodes than others, but their Treehouse of Horror stuff always hits. They have a lot of great episodes, even the seasons that aren't great. They have a lot of
AKA the
great.
last 20 years.
They have a lot of great stories that they can express to people to help them with something that's going on with their life. So,
Isn't that
and they do it.
The Simpsons have run out of ideas being on the fucking airwaves for almost 40 years. They literally keep changing Homer and Marge's origin story, where they met in the 90s. I saw recently.
Yes.
At some fucking concert.
And Homer started a grunge band that was ostensibly Nirvana, and Marge was dating her professor in college.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Show's not funny. A lot of the sides that they might pick, or some of the sides politically they pick are fucking terrible takes and lame. It's not funny. I have not enjoyed. I've tried to. The only thing that they've been promoting that I've noticed, because I don't have TV, so I don't watch it, is the fucking couch intros. And you mentioned Treehouse of Horror. That's the only thing I've seen them advertising. It's like, oh, Guillermo del Toro fucking made the gag for tonight's
couch gag.
Couch gag, yeah. Like, okay, well, sell me on your show, not the couch gag, because that's like 10 seconds or however long it might be, depending on what it is. And then, 20 minutes of unfunny bullshit.
Again, I think it's to each their own. I still laugh almost every episode that's there.
Congratulations, you should feel bad.
I do not. I do enjoy the show. I think I always will. Like, even if it goes completely down the toilet, it's one of those shows I think I'll still always enjoy.
It already has. Clearly you do enjoy it because it has gone down the toilet.
But there's so much history there for me to enjoy that I think that's why I like it so much. And I can understand why people don't. Because there are a lot of times where it ends up being the same style of funny that it was in the 90s. And that style of funny isn't the same level of funny that we have now, right? You compare it to, say, again, like South Park, right? Or even Family Guy. The crudity of the humor has changed so much that a fart joke that The Simpsons do comparison to the fart joke that South Park or Family Guy does isn't going to be the same. Isn't even going to hit the same. It's going to be a lot tamer on The Simpsons, which may not come across as funny. But I still enjoy it. I still enjoy the ones in Family Guy too, and depending on the joke, on even South Park. But because it's a fart joke. But for me, The Simpsons still hits, man.
So are you in love with the show itself, or are you just clinging on to the nostalgia?
I am an American with Twitter, so it's both.
Fair enough.
So, with that being said, let's talk about maybe now a show that everybody loves, but you cannot stand. As i.e. So Well, mentioning with Simpsons. A lot of people like it, so I can't stand it.
No one likes it anymore, except you fucking weird hippie.
Still love it. So besides The Simpsons, so what's a show that everyone likes that you can't stand?
I don't even know what the fuck's on anymore, if I'm being completely fucking honest. So I'll just go ahead and say, Mike, I can't stand The Simpsons anymore. It's not funny.
We covered this already, bud.
I'm aware. I don't know of any other like adult animated cartoon shows that are still on that are popular because I'm an old man and I hate most everything. So
American Dad,
So
Family
give us
Guy,
Give us one from
Archer,
the
Bob's
halcyon
Burgers.
days of your youth.
that I hated and everyone
Yes.
liked. That's adult animated? Because like the days of
Yes.
my youth. Fuck. You really got. You know what? Come back to me. How about that? There you go.
Okay,
Come
Josh,
back to me.
what's a
Bob's
show?
Burgers.
I am 100% with you. I cannot stand that show.
Don't get me wrong, it has its funny moments. It does. But I can't fucking stand the wife in that show. I can't stand the kid with the glasses. She's so. I am not a fan of awkward humor. I can't do it. I can't. It makes me cringe. It gives me ickies. So the girl with the glasses, it's the same thing that I get when I watch The Office. I fucking like Michael Scott, and so is gonna rip me apart for this. I already fucking know it. I can't fucking stand The Office because I cannot stand Dwight and I cannot stand Michael.
Yeah, I'm actually on there with both takes with you right there. And it might be the similar reason I'm not like a big fan of the awkwardness. I mentioned off the air, I'm not a big fan of H. John Benjamin. I cannot stand his voice for the most part.
So you don't like Archer?
Archer's a different take. I don't like the show. I like the show, but in spite of H. John Benjamin, because everything else I like about it. It's kind of weird to say. And it's actually a show that I ended up watching because of The Simpsons, funny enough. Before Simpsons were on Disney Channel, or on the Disney Plus, excuse me, my wife would go to sleep watching The Simpsons on FX because they would air like 5 hours of The Simpsons at the end of the night. And then they would do 2 hours of Archer following that. And when I come to bed, because I always came to bed, or I still even to this day come to bed much later than my wife does, it would be on, and I might be just too tired or too lazy to change it. And I'm like, fine. And so I'd watch it, and I ended up falling in love with the show itself and suffering through the voice of H. John Benjamin. That being said, though, that new movie that he's the narrator voiceover for, Boy Kills World, I really do want to see because it looks so stupid.
It looks so stupid. It's going to be great.
Right? But going back to Bob's Burgers, there is not a redeemable thing about that show. There's nothing funny about it. None of the characters are likable. Again, I don't like H. John Benjamin's voice. Even the episode that they did on Archer, where he was Bob from Bob's Burgers, but in the animation style of Archer because he lost his memory. Like, I didn't even like that episode of Archer. I just can't stand Bob's Burgers either.
Sucks to suck.
Mm.
Is it?
You're making noises,
I had a thought and I fucking lost it.
apparently.
Interesting.
All right, so did you come up with one?
It's not that I hate this, but like, I know a lot of people liked it, and I just could never get into it. But Metalocalypse, that fucking show,
That is fucking blasphemy.
I don't give a fuck. I drink vodka, bitch.
It's always your excuse for everything. So,
Well, find a better one.
I mean,
But
you're
yeah,
not wrong.
I don't understand it. I don't like it, which is weird because I like most of those like Adult Swim shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like Frisky Dingo. I like Sea Life 2021, Aqua Teen. Yeah, I just could never get into that show. I tried. I seriously tried to watch it and like it, but couldn't do it. Could not do it.
Metalopolis, that show.
Metalocalypse.
Yes. It's a weird one for me because it's a show I also tried to watch and I couldn't get into it. Not that it was a bad show. I could see why people liked it, but I couldn't get into it either. But I loved the music. The band that does the music for it is a band called Apocalyptica, and I love their music. So good. But I just could not get into the show.
Did you guys ever see they did, I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel, but they took a couple of Metalocalypse songs, and it was Bat Metal. Did you guys ever watch those?
Nope.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They were fucking amazing. You have just, they're like, there was Mermaider, and I can't remember the other song, but they are hilarious. It's Batman and the Bat Family singing these songs, and just the animations that go with them are fucking great. Highly recommend. You guys should watch them. I'm gonna fucking post them to the group chat as soon as we're done with this.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched them. Let's see. I guess now it's my turn to figure out a popular show that I just could not get into or didn't like in general. Honestly, I kind of mentioned it earlier. Like, I was not a huge fan of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I tried to watch it. I just could not get into the repetitive stupidity of it. And again, I can kind of see why people might like it. But it's the same reason why I can kind of see why people like Trump. Like, I guess I make sense to somebody, but not to me.
Have you seen the episodes with the Moonanites?
The
No.
Moonanites! The Moonawana episode!
I mean, every single episode that the Moonanites are in is instantly a classic.
Like,
Facts.
that show seemed always to me like Ron Jeremy was on an acid trip. That was like the premise of the show.
The porn star?
Yes, who
I'm talking
looks
about
like
Carl.
that's who the guy looks like to me, right? And
well,
so
I mean, you're
I
probably
always
not
imagine
wrong.
in my head the whole premise of the show is what if Ron Jeremy was on an acid trip after getting McDonald's?
Okay.
That's the show to me in my head. That's the headcanon I have for that show and how that show got created. And I just cannot it's just not funny to me. There's let me phrase that. It's mostly not funny to me, and it's not a show I can stand for the most part. That being said, I did enjoy some of the stuff with Meatwad. Like I've seen like clips and stuff of his stuff that does make me laugh out of context. But the show as a whole, I could not stand. And I mean, I can see why people like it, but it is definitely not for me.
You are missing out on comedy gold, my friend. Comedy gold.
I've heard that many times. Many
The
times.
Moonanites or the fucking two dudes from Pluto. Those are my favorite fucking recurring characters.
Oh, the fucking, I know who you're talking, the spiky dudes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Especially when they start beefing with each other. Oh my god.
Yeah. Fucking amazing. And
Cool.
it's okay to be wrong. Again, Mike, it's okay.
That's my spot. I live there.
Sometimes, yeah, you post it up. You're just there all the time. You're there for shits and giggles now.
You're entitled to your very wrong opinion.
All right. Well, let me now ask you guys, as we're getting towards the end of this already, let me ask you, what is a show that you liked that became a surprising spin-off hit or parody of something? Josh and I talked about a few of these off air from something else. As an example, Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Okay, based off of the Hanna-Barbera show of Space Ghost, which was nothing like the Coast to Coast. But it was a spin-off parody show, and was a much better show than the original show was.
Oh, 100% it was.
So,
yes, it was.
I think,
Josh?
Oh, I was going to say, like, and we did talk about one of them. Another one was Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. It was so fucking funny to see all these classic cartoon characters on trial for heinous fucking crimes. That's got to be my pick is Harvey Birdman.
Okay.
Attorney at Law.
So, what about you?
Sorry, what was the category again?
So, a spin-off show or parody show that became an adult animated show, or is now becoming an adult animated show that you enjoyed as much, if not better, than the original series, or was better in general.
C-Lab 2021. That was like an original fucking like Hanna-Barbera show, and then they remixed like one of the first episodes to have. I think it was, at least. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's my pick.
I'm gonna look that up real fast because Josh and I also talked about that one off air, and we couldn't remember if it was originally a Hanna-Barbera show or not. So C-Lab. Let's see, C-Lab 2021.
If it's not, I'd be totally surprised.
I'm looking it up right now. Based on a C-Lab 2020, which was a Hanna-Barbera show.
Yeah. Yes. There you go.
Yo.
So, all right. To be honest, I don't remember a ton of that show. I remember being there, and I remember like I have an idea, vision of the show, but I don't remember anything from the show.
I don't remember a lot like of specific episodes. I just remember it being funny. I remember enjoying it, but I can't fucking tell you like a character's name. I can't tell you an episode.
Yeah, it was funny, but I'm like Josh. I can't remember a particular episode
Okay.
that got me.
Well, there have been a lot of remakes, reboots, parodies of original shows that kind of aim more to the adult animated style of show. Some that come to my head is like the Thundercats or He-Man. What was it? The one they just did on Netflix? Repetition. God damn it! I can't even think of words right now. I might have had alcohol today. Revenge, something like that. It was the Netflix one that was ran by Kevin Smith, which was really good. Like really, really good. Yeah. It was a He-Man.
He-Man.
They did three seasons of it, and it was show ran by Kevin Smith. It starred Christopher Wood, who was Mon-El in Supergirl, and then his wife, who is Supergirl. Melissa Benoist is Tila in that show. Then they also had Skeletor being played by Mark Hamill. And it still is a fantastic show. They just dropped the third season. They actually just had William Shatner on as a regular character in that show too. Ironically enough, also playing Skeletor, kind of. Spoilers. So it was a really interesting show. Yeah, you have to watch it to get it. But you at one point you have William Shatner and Mark Hamill playing the same character.
Oh, fucking K. I heard good things, and I've also heard people totally rip apart that show.
Yeah.
And like being a He-Man, like Skeletor to me is the ultimate petty villain, and I love all the supercuts of him just talking shit to not only He-Man but his henchmen. I fucking live for that. And then you have all the parody accounts where it's like him running in, dropping a totally random, disturbing fact, and then running out until we meet again. I fucking love that shit.
Like you should watch it, man. Like it's really good on Netflix. Lena Headey is also on there. She plays Evil Lynn. Lena Headey being Cersei from Game of Thrones. It's super good. And if you're a big fan of Skeletor, you really need to watch the show because Skeletor wins at a certain point. So,
God damn.
Yeah, Kevin Smith fucking runs the shit out of this show. Like he does. He's just the showrunner, but he also is the head writer of the show, and it's super freaking good. But that's not even the show I was going to bring up. I was just bringing that up as an example because there's that. There's the Thundercats I mentioned earlier. What was the other one I was just thinking? Oh my gosh, Voltron. They did 3 seasons of that show that was really good as a remake. But this one that I enjoyed the first season of, it was a show that not a lot of people liked. But I really liked the way that they were trying to do something different with it. And I really enjoyed the first season. And it was Velma.
How the fuck can you sit there and say you really enjoyed the first season?
Because I did.
Of Velma.
I as we talked about this before, I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it for the conceptual lore to certain things of it. Because I love Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is one of my favorite cartoons and characters of all time. Like, that was the show I grew up with and stuff. So having some lore base to certain aspects of the characters was really, really interesting. There's a lot of stupid in it too, but there's a lot of stupid in there as well that I really liked. But my favorite hands down, my favorite aspect of this show has nothing to do with the show. It is the complete and utter revulsion that Sobel gets every time I bring up Velma. It's fantastic. Like, I tried to go out of my way to watch the second season, and I just couldn't get past the first episode. But I was trying really hard to watch it to find something to like, just to piss off Sobel.
Hold on, wait. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry, my audio's messing up. It sounded like you said the first season of Velma is fucking amazing, and I'm still back there at that point of the conversation.
I never said it was amazing.
I want whatever fucking drug you're on that can make you think that piece of shit first season, second season, I couldn't even hate watch, is fucking trash. Hot, stinking, garbage trash.
As I just mentioned, that you obviously didn't hear because your audio was having issues. One, I never said the show was amazing. I said I enjoyed it. Second,
that's the same thing. You saying I enjoyed it, you're saying it's amazing.
No, the show as itself is not amazing whatsoever. I enjoyed it. But as I mentioned, one of my favorite aspects of the show of Velma as the show is nothing to do with the show itself. It's the utter revulsion you have about the show, and every time I bring it up, and how much it pleases me to annoy you.
Well, how dare you?
Mike lives out of spite.
I do.
Just for you, so well. Just for you.
Well, I'd like for him to live in the real world where trash shit shows like that don't exist or should never be enjoyed by anyone.
Didn't you hate watch the first season of Velma so well?
I did. Yes, I hate watched it, and
you contributed. You contributed to it getting a second season. How does that make you feel? Do you feel like a winner? Did you win?
I won in the fact that I have a good barometer of just how fucking much I hate myself and the amount of pain and torture I can go through. Like, it should be a fucking war crime to play that show in like Guantanamo Bay. Because I survived the first season, so I'm pretty sure I'm okay. Like, waterboarding would be like a second, like it would be easier to be waterboarded.
So,
Jesus.
I want to hear from you fans, honestly. I want you guys to go to our social media, Be Hero Media, on pretty much everything. And I want to know if you guys think that our very first merch item for Slightly Agitated should be I survived the first season of Velma. If that's what you guys want to be the first merch thing, let us know in the comments here on YouTube or on social media. And I will do my damnedest to get that merch out there because that is a fantastic shirt idea. Oh man!
Or you do like first season of Velma and then like waterboarding, and then you do the greater than fucking symbol. So waterboarding is greater than the fucking first season of Velma.
Oh man, that's fantastic. Oh, I've already got some graphic design ideas of how I'm going to do this.
Do it. Or, yeah,
Wasn't that somebody's? Oh God.
I might make that actually just not even like a Be Hero product, like merchandise. I might make that a merchandise to sell at the shows.
Yeah, do that. I'll sell the shit out of those.
Oh man! All right. before we leave, is there any other special mentions of shows that you guys want to talk about from adult animated shows? Because there's a lot we didn't mention. There's surprisingly a ton that was coming to my mind as we were going through this show.
One that Zan got me to watch. I wasn't adamantly against it, but I was kind of like, whatever. Was Hell of a Boss. Have you guys seen that or heard of that? It started off as a YouTube thing. It's still a YouTube thing, and then it got its own. The creators went over to got a show on Amazon called Has Been Hotel.
That I've seen a little bit of. I haven't watched the other one, but I hadn't even heard of it until you mentioned it at training the other day.
It is super raunchy. It's overtly gay. It's very on the nose with how gay it is. But it is also ha ha ha. But no, like it's got a lot of like good voice. Like the guy who does the voice for Invader Zim, he's in it. Kesha's in an episode. Fuck, I can't even. I'm drawing a blank. But there's like a lot of guest cameos that are super big names, and you wouldn't expect it from a fucking YouTube show. But it's so good. I recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Nice. What about you, Solo? Any other ones that come to mind?
No, but I do want to take this time to tell you guys to fuck off. The Office is awesome, and a bunch of bitches.
Did you hear they're doing a spinoff of The Office? That's like in the same universe.
Sure it's gonna suck. I'm sure it's gonna suck because that's what Hollywood is today. Is just a bunch of suck. Like terrible ideas. That's Hollywood now. I mean, if Steve Carell, who played Michael, for those of you who don't know, if he said that today's society could not handle Michael Scott in the original Office run, then we got a lot of problems here. So it's going to be watered down and terrible.
Unless they decide to not water it down and just run with it, which I think a lot of shows have started doing a little bit more, especially like, I mean, stand-up comedians are there for that reason, right? But I think they push it. I personally think that society as a whole is sick of the tiptoeing around everybody. The majority of us are. And I think if they're going to do the show, they got to fucking run with it.
No, I don't think they're going to. I think it's going to be watered down, stale, and fucking terrible. But I'm a pessimist.
Yes, you are.
This is awesome, you bitches. Yeah, I can't think of another adult animated show that like I've watched recently.
I don't know if I called this one an adult animated show, but I want to bring it up because I did watch pretty much all of it as an adult. It was one that Josh just mentioned was Invader Zim. I love Invader Zim. It is so good.
That's a kid's cartoon. It was on Nickelodeon
I know,
or
but
whatever.
It is, but is it really?
It's in that same vein as like Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I call Ren and Stimpy a kid's cartoon, even though it was sort of at the time slot of a kid's cartoon.
God, I miss Ren and Stimpy.
Right. Talk about a show that wouldn't work today.
Oh, bro, for real. For real.
Jesus. But yeah, there's just a ton of shows. I know there's several we didn't mention, so please reach out to us on social media to let us know which ones we missed, which ones were some of your favorites. All right. And to do that, all you have to do is go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and hit us up on Be Hero Media, or comment right here on YouTube now that we're actually doing our podcast here on YouTube, and just tell us in the comments which ones you think we missed, which ones you loved, and tell us why So Well is wrong about Velma. And then if you want to reach out to us directly, you can reach out to me on my social medias. That's going to be Mike Burke DCW on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or Mike Burke Pro on Twitter, because Twitter still hates me. You can reach out to So Well at
Done, DUNN_so_well. Also, you can find me in the winner's circle because Velma sucks.
the winner's circle. Yep.
The winners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're half a winner. I'll give you that one. There you go. And Josh, where can they find you?
Wow. That was fucking terrible. I'm so glad that our one fan didn't have to see that. I'm glad we are an audio only podcast. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, rocking my 90s mean girl. All right, Josh, where can they find you at?
Bones _Will on Instagram and Twitter. Bonesaw Bill with a B on TikTok. William Cutting on Facebook.
All right. And then, as we always do on every one of these episodes, we're also going to talk about what's coming up for Devotion Championship Wrestling. As this airs, we are only 1 week away from one of our biggest shows of the year. End term. June 8th. It's going to be a huge show. I'm super excited. We got a lot planned for that show. It will be at Valley Fair Mall in Salt Lake City. Additionally, if you are a wrestler or manager, ref, what have you, and live near or able to get to Utah on June 8th, we are also going to be having a tryout with Gabe Sapolsky, the head talent scout for the WWE. So reach out to us to get the information for that as well. And then following that, we will be at West Fest in West Valley City. It is the yearly festival that they do, kind of like a fair in Valley Fair Mall. In West Valley. It's a good time. My family goes there every year. So I'm super excited that we'll be there as well. And then following that, June 22nd, we'll be back up in Ogden for Tussle Time at Kamikazes. And then after that, July 5th at Aces Saloons for bar fights once again. Reach out to us on social media or follow us there to be able to get all the information as well as tickets for all of our great events. You can find us at Devotion Championship Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram, Devotion Wrestling on TikTok, and DCW Salt Lake City on Twitter. All right, gents. Anything I'm forgetting before we go?
No, I think that's it. Besides Mike being eternally wrong, as a reminder.
Yeah. One last thing I did remember just now, besides I'm not wrong, is we do have 2 free tickets to the June 8th show in West Valley City at Valley Fair Mall for End Term. We still have that going until this coming Thursday, July 6th. To enter to win those 2 free tickets, all you have to do is go to our post on Be Hero Media on Facebook and Instagram and comment simply, I am devoted, and like the post and our page. If you do that, you will be entered to win those 2 free tickets. All right, guys. With that being said.
Sorry, real quick. I just want to correct something that you just said. You said yes. July 6th. You mean June 6th.
I mean June 8th. Or, sorry, June 6th, yes. You are correct.
So before June 6th, also correcting you on Velma season 1 is terrible. There you go. All right. I said the last thing. Goodbye, everybody.
For the rest of Be Hero Media, we have been Slightly Agitated. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Until we meet again.
Ooh, nice callback.
Thank you.
Fuck you so well.